Hello, friends and beautiful souls. Welcome to ChakraTouch Live Friday edition. Good morning, Peter. Hi, Christina. Hello. I have a wonderful quote for us today in the virtual background. Who else is here? Hi, Kiana, my dear friend. Yes, soulmates. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday to Peter and all those in the future. Who else we have? Beautiful quote today. I had to mirror my image. I don't know how the recording will come out. Yes, the Little Prince. Okay, well, I just went blurry. There we go. Yeah, so this morning in Jackie Mancuso's live, a lot of the cards were reminding me of this quote, and I have not heard this quote or thought of it in so many years, and I really needed it. So I put it into I crafted my own virtual background. This image is from actual flowy images from another video, but yes. The writing is backwards. Oh no, is it? Well, that's weird. For you, it is. That's not because you're down under. Hi, Linda. Hi, Lindsay. Okay, hold on. Let me change. I was worried about that. How is that now? Let's see how it goes. Oh, it was backwards for you too, Linda? Okay. That's so funny. I guess in order for you guys to see it, I have to see it backwards. But that's okay because on the recording, it'll end up forwards. Can you see it now? There we go. Okay. I can properly gesture now. Here's the quote, and here's who it's from. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly what is essential is invisible to the eye. If you've never read The Little Prince, it's a beautiful and also sort of sad book in certain ways. But the cards that were coming up in Jackie Mancuso's live this morning were just really speaking to me. Yesterday I had probably one of my more challenging days in the last month and a half. And the cards this morning were totally talking about letting the real be too real. So the best way was like making the tangible too real, right? In other words, for me, it meant that yesterday I was putting a hell of a lot of focus on all the observable qualities of life, in particular, the zeros in my dollar and the zeros in my bank account, like all sorts of numbers and things, right? And I wasn't seeing from the heart really, but it took the whole day and a lot of really inner work and just really sitting with the feelings. And actually, I got really clear about an interesting fear that I'm probably going to look at a little bit more. But a friend said, well, what is this core fear that you're having? And so I spent a couple hours thinking about it, and I realized I was afraid of feeling stuck and being trapped. But what was interesting to me and really fascinating was that I was already feeling stuck and trapped because of how I was focusing my mind on all these tangible things, and I was making them more important, you know? And then a beautiful thing happened in Jackie's live this morning. So many people were like, Greg, why are you scared? We love your lives. Like you're doing so much awesome stuff. And then Jackie like propped me up, and a bunch of people were like, I love your insights. And I was just like, oh, that really is exactly what the heart needed. So today, I have this beautiful quote for all of us. Yeah, the message is fitting, Linda. I think it's really important for me because there's a couple levels of why it's really fitting. Seen rightly, well, leftly. Yeah, before it was leftly. Now I hope it's rightly. Hi, Gary. Welcome. Thank you, Peter. And see, that's what's important because my mission is to spread love. I mean, not just that, but like I'm here to bring us together in love. I'm here to bring us. I want community, and B, I know a lot of people do as well. But a big thing for me is creating community and holding loving space, but not just that, but that we can all experience love, right? And so it's so funny how my mind, for me, can get focused on all these nitty gritty little details, right? So, and I'm just being honest here, I've gotten caught up in how many donations I get from live to live, how many followers I get. And just, you know what? And it's crazy making. It's really crazy making for me. And it's fascinating because in December and January, I didn't feel this way. But then I get my news about my friends or the news about my friend's cancer, which threw me into a bit of a panic because I need to move and my financial situation is what it is. I'm not going to speak one way or the other. It's just what it is. And that's thrown me for a loop for this last month. So I kind of feel like I'm gradually and slowly coming back to myself. I know that every time you guys come to a live, you know, it's easier for me because I'm being of service and I'm channeling, and so it's like none of the normal day-to-day mental stuff gets in the way because I'm here for all of us, really. But I'm human too, my friends. I'm human too. Please don't ever put me on a pedestal. We're all just friends here, in terms of my perspective. And it is just the message that I'm getting is just like, I know you guys appreciate it, and sometimes it's really hard for me to take it in, but your recognition of my gift helps me continue to offer my gift, right? Because it was a long road, as you guys have heard my story before. It was a long road to say yes to even offering ChakraTouch. And the fascinating thing, and if anyone's working on Life Path or journeying with Life Path or struggling or feeling stuck, whatever, here's the fascinating thing about it. Even though I said yes last fall to ChakraTouch, I have to recommit and say yes again and again, right? I need the reminders as much as the rest of us do. And yesterday's big reminder was like, okay, Greg, so you've set this intention to live life to the fullest, right? I still don't entirely know what that means for me, but what that means is allowing ChakraTouch to guide me, allowing this calling to guide me. But then the mind comes in and plays games. And so I have to recommit and say yes again. I have to say yes to life. I have to say yes to love. And love is like the most important thing to me because living from the heart and coming from the heart has been a long practice and journey and becoming for me. I did not grow up this way. And I just want to embody it as much as possible, both for my own benefit, but also, for example, to you guys. So, hey, Summer Star, nice to see you. This just started. The live just started about 8 minutes and 35 seconds ago. Marty is doing well, Linda. Thank you for asking. Um, because when they found the cancer, she didn't actually have any symptoms. So that whole thing was a bit of a surprise. She still sort of doesn't have symptoms, although there's been a lot of nausea the last few weeks for her. However, she's had a propensity all her life towards having a upset tummy. So it's really hard to know whether the stress of the situation is causing the nausea, which is legit, or whether it's the cancer or whether it's just her natural propensity towards that. So, hi, Monica. Good to see you again. I had the Infinity sign up last time on Wednesday for you. Greg, Monica says, Greg, keep continuing what you're doing for collective consciousness. Donation and followers will follow. Yes, they will, Monica. Keep spreading your good energy. Well, it's important for me to always come back to my mission, right? Yes, I believe that my wisdom and my gifts are worthy of massive compensation. I do really believe that. I don't know how it will come about. I know that it will. I don't know how. I get worried about the granularity, but what's my mission? My mission is to bring us together in love. My mission is to bring us together into our very own energy. Like, where, like I always say, how pure and in the moment the energy is in our chakras. And so thank you, Monica, for that. Hi, CG. Am I saying that right? Sajai? CG? How do you say it? Focus on now, rest will follow. Exactly. Now, I wasn't there yesterday, Monica. I could have used that reminder yesterday, but that's what I did do. So I appreciate the reminder today too. ChakraTouch is my gift, Summer. I will explain it shortly. We're just going to wait a little smidge for more folks to come in. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I'm sure she appreciates that. Hey, Kelsey, welcome back. Monica, thanks for the heart and the 100. CG, okay. Very good. Cool, Monica. I will add you to the list. So I guess now that that's starting, I will introduce myself to anyone who's new. So my name's Greg Phillips. I'm coming to you from Rochester, New York. It's lovely here today. Beautiful sunny day. I think we're hitting 55. Woo! Heat waves. Wow. Yeah, and so my lives are what I do what's called ChakraTouch, which is of my own creation. I'm actually going to do a video or maybe an audio track telling the story someday. I tell it in pieces. I don't really tell the whole thing. I'm going to do that, I think. It's on the list. Anywho, I have this gift of being able to tap into people's chakras and observe and witness their energy. And what happens is I open myself up. When I first discovered this gift, that I had this gift 15 years ago, people said, well, what was that? What did you do? And I said, I'm just loving up your chakras. And then eventually I realized that I'm a channel for love. And so when I do ChakraTouch here on the lives or in my privates or really anywhere, um, I feel as though I believe as though I'm opening myself up to love as a channel, and I'm going all blurry. I'm gonna slow down. And then through the chakras in my hands, I listen and observe the chakras of whoever's getting a reading. And lo and behold, what happens is their energy starts to show me the quality of its movement, the feeling of it. It shows me visuals, colors, sounds, and I begin to describe that to the person having the session. And then together I coach and guide them on how to use that energy to whatever resolution the energy needs in the moment. That could be healing. It could be clarity. It could be shifting a pattern, a thought, or moving a blockage. A lot of times we go on these amazing, profound, sometimes wild and weird journeys here when we do it, when we do the little mini sessions. And so during the live, I basically do a reading like format. Now it's a little bit different than some. I don't do anything predictive. And if you ask me what you should do, I'm going to shy away from that because that is usually up to you. However, I can tell you how your energy is in the moment, because energy to me is purely our energy and our chakras represents how we are purely in the moment. Now I'm starting to have new understandings. I have so many ahas when I visit with you guys, and then in between. Monica, you missed the one, I think, from Wednesday where I was talking about this aha I had about the infinity symbol, thanks to your session that day. Anyhow, it's really quite fascinating. It's very loving. I often ask everybody to join in with the different hand placements and the feelings and whatnot. And we just go for it, right? We just go for trying to reach the perspective of love and whatever else results. So hopefully that was not too wordy of an explanation, because it feels like it was. But it's a lot of fun. As the regulars would tell you, it's really pretty awesome. So someone wants to be on the list in Charlotte. So for the new people, the way my list works is different than other folks. Lynn, you want to be on the list as well? Okay, let me get this. Hello, Violet. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, I think the story would be interesting. I'm not sure how much of it to tell in a recording. Yeah, thank you, Summer. I appreciate that. Monica, honestly, I don't know how I got it. Um, that is a really good question. Hello, Kayla. Good. Hello from the mountains in Eastern Tennessee. Kayla, want to be on the list. Okay. So first, let me explain the list, and then I'll answer Monica's beautiful question. CG, yes, you can indeed. So the way I work the list is everybody, no matter when they show up at my live, has an opportunity to get called on for a reading because I put everybody's name in a spin the wheel app. And that way the universe decides who gets called on. I really like this. It requires a little extra management on my part, but I really like this because A, it's fun, B, it's fair, and three, there's no such thing as showing up late in my lives anyways, because you're always going to get what you need to hear, whether it's from my live or down the road. So, Lynn, I don't think I always had it. I don't think I always had it. So I'll tell a little bit of the story. Yes, the spin is a wonderful idea. And I think my dear friend, um, Rev J started using it and said, Greg, you might want to kind of consider this. It makes things a little bit easier and more fun. Anyhow, to answer Monica's question, so it was about 15 or 16 years ago. I'd been many years in a sort of ecstatic shamanic dance practice out on the West Coast. And at the time I was living in LA and I was at one of the dance classes. And a dear friend of mine who I cared for quite a lot. I don't think I really realized it at that moment, but I did care for her quite a lot. She suddenly stopped dancing. And I've always had a strong intuition, so that's always been there. And I'd spent several years with other channels, both transmedium channels and otherwise. I've been to a lot of Abraham Hicks workshops, both, yeah, pretty much in Los Angeles. And I'd always had this desire deep inside to, have a special gift that I could share with the world, but I never knew what it was. So anyways, my friend stopped moving and I just knew intuitively that she was struggling. There was some sort of distress going on. I didn't know if it was physical, mental, emotional. And I was just really drawn to dance over to her. And I laid my hands on her heart chakras, on the front and the back of the heart chakra. And I just sat there being present with her. There's a lot, there's a big piece about presence with ChakraTouch. And she didn't do anything. And I could feel her different chakras calling me to move my hands. And I sensed that she needed grounding. So I moved my hands to her belly center. And then I could feel that the mind was busy. And I moved my hands up to the third eye and the crown chakra. And I was really only there present with her for maybe a minute or two, right? And then I gently pulled my hands away and I went off to do my own dance again. And after class, she said, Greg, what was that? What did you do? And I said, I don't know what I did. I was just loving up your chakras. I felt like you were distressed and I didn't know why. And I just felt called to come over. And she said, that felt amazing. I felt so much love and so peaceful afterwards and so relaxed. How long were you actually standing there with me? And I said, a minute or two, maybe not even. And she said, it felt like forever. And so I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And so I would do it randomly for friends at dance. One of my a girlfriend at the time that I was dating after that experience, maybe a year later, she had a lot of back issues. So she'd lay down in the middle of dance and I would go over to her and I would just do ChakraTouch. And I don't know why I called it ChakraTouch at that time. Fast forward to September 2022, and I was really feeling struck. I guess you're getting the story, guys. I was really feeling stuck in my life. I had quit my part-time conventional job in July because I just didn't feel fulfilled anymore. And I could feel my calling viscerally in my chest. Like I felt something was saying, I'm meant for more. There's more that I'm supposed to do. I feel called to more, and it wasn't available in that job, and I didn't want to look for another job. So I sought out some spiritual counseling, referred from a friend. And after a couple sessions, I started telling him about ChakraTouch because when I think about it, if I do it right now, I can feel my hands start to tingle, right? So it's feeling energy in my hands for several years. And I just was always sort of like, no, 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 that's not real. There's nothing there. I mean, there is something there, but I don't know, whatever. And he said, Greg, you're a spiritual healer. And I was like, ew, I hate that word healer. Because there's so much gunk around people's notions of healers, right? Ends up he was right. But he said, hey, so like you're feeling connected to this, there might be something there for you. And I said, well, I'm really scared about it, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, you just have to start small, find a space and just offer practice sessions to, your family and close friends, people who feel like, that you feel safe with. And so I said, oh, I'll look into it. Mary wants on the list. Sorry, in the middle of the story, it's hard to track the list. My apologies. Yeah. Um, I'll try and fast forward the story, but it's kind of fun to tell it. It's good to remember. So, anyways, a month after he suggested I do this, I was like, I don't know. I don't see myself sitting in a room with a meditation chair, laying my hands on somebody and doing that. Yeah, that's what I did 15 years ago in dance classes, but we were in dance classes. That's what happened. And I was just like, I don't see it. I do see myself talking to people though. I've always wanted to be an inspirational speaker ever since I was before when I was in 12-step programs, which I'm not anymore. My favorite service was talking at meetings and conventions and other groups. So I've always really felt called to that, right? Um, and so I just went back and forth in my head for like 6 months, scared to try anything. And I finally said, yes, I'm going to do this. I told my family, and they said, we'd love to do practice sessions. And my first one was with my cousin in Seattle, and I was doing it remotely over the phone with her. And I just thought this was going to be 5, 10 minutes of me, remotely laying my hands on her chakras and basically just loving her up, and I knew this would be really relaxing and really centering for her. And all of a sudden I started seeing things from her energy. I could feel it in a more profound, more clear way than I mean, I've always been sensitive to people's energy, but I've never had this level of clarity. And I could see her energy, and I started like sensing things and feelings, and we started talking about stuff, and she was able, because we were on the phone, she was able to basically riff off of things I said and offer insights and how she was feeling physically and emotionally. And we were able to unearth something that had been a long time story for her. And she was able to realize that was actually a superpower because of what I saw and the guidance I was able to give. And that's when I knew, like, holy crap, this is bigger than just laying my hands on people's chakras and channeling love to them and loving them up, basically. And so I really started to look into it and go with it. And then I got really scared of it. After like 3 months of doing this with friends and family, I got scared again for 6 months. And I went looking for conventional, traditional jobs. And that was a pain in the ass. Excuse my language, but I hated it. Every time I got close to getting a job, in my mind, I was like, this doesn't really bring me the fulfillment and the freedom that I want. This isn't like flexible and fun. This just sounds like drudgery again. And I don't want to do that. What do I want? I want fulfillment and freedom and fun and flexibility. And I want to feel like I'm living on purpose, right? So that was another 6 months of fear until I finally realized there's a point at which I either say yes to this calling or I just continue to ignore it. But I couldn't continue to ignore it anymore. And I realized if I said yes, I'd find out where this calling is going to go. I'd find out what this whole visceral feeling in my heart was, right? If I never said yes, I would always wonder, where is it going to end up? Where would it take me? And so one day, I don't even remember which day, it was September, last September, and I just said yes. And in that moment, I knew that I was not just saying yes to ChakraTouch and the journey that it was going to take me on, but that I was saying yes to my own expansion, my own spiritual growth. And that's been nothing but that. I mean, being confronted by the way my mind like latches on to tangible, observable, results, and how I need to surrender and let that go. And just so many other things. Like, there's so much more to the story. Anyways, thank you for letting me tell that. It's a great story. I really do need to record it. I hope that that's inspirational for you guys. And yeah, let's see what I missed. CG, I did put you on the list. Hi, Mary. Oh, Ash, you want to get on the list already? Very good. Guys, it's a little distracting because I was in the middle of the story, but I'll try and get Holly wants on too. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Peter. I so appreciate your guys' appreciation of me. I know that sounds funny, but I really do. It you guys inspire me to keep going. Let's put it that way. I love it. Um, Bella, I'm in a 12-step program too. You were oh, you are. Very good. Yeah, I haven't been in since 2007. I moved on from it, but yeah, it was integral for 20 years in my life. So yeah. Thank you, Christina. Oh, thanks, Monica. She says, we're glad that you did. Now you're here and helping everyone. Yeah, and we're building community and I'm making new friends. Two of my friends from doing the lives invited me to move to the Canary Islands with them. They want to go there and start retreats and all sorts of stuff. And so I've actually recently decided that yeah, I'm going to move to the Canary Islands. Anywho, lots of sharing. No, you're welcome, Kelsey. Hi, Regan. Oh, you're back. Welcome. The 9 to 5 drudgery, living it and realize I am stifling myself. Great story, Greg. Not way to follow your Dharma. Yeah, actually, way to follow the Dharma. Oh, good, Peter. Peter says, sharing your story has affirmed I am definitely on the path. One of the reasons I read people's comments out loud is A, for the recording, because you won't see the typing on the recording, and B, just to acknowledge folks. Yeah. All right. So here's the list, my friends. Monica, Sumastar, Charlotte, Lynn, Kayla, CG, Mary, Ash, Holly. Anybody else want to get on the list? Hi, Egg. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys that are new enjoy it. I see my buddy Gary. He hasn't spoken up. How are you, buddy? Matthew, there's no such thing as late. If you'd like to get on the list for a reading slash ChakraTouch journey, you always the list is I do sort of a reading format, but everybody can get on the list because I've put everyone's name in a spin the wheel app. So the universe decides who gets called on. And that way the highest and best comes out for all of us. So if you want to get on the list, you can get on at any time. Rosanna. God, I used to love that song. Matthew. There's no guarantee everybody will get called on, but I trust that the universe will pick who gets called on. Linda's just here to lurk and listen. I love that, Linda. I said lurk, you said listen. Yeah, is it? Oh, I can't wait to talk to you about that. Okay, Regan, we'll add you too. Oh, okay. Okay, Gary. Drive safely, all right? All right. That's it for the list right now, my friends, and let's get spinning. I'm so glad you're all here. Thank you so much for being here today with all of us. I can't wait and see what comes out from everyone's journey today. All right. Number 9 is the first winner. That means Holly, you're up. Holly, are you still here? Sometimes life takes people away from the lives. Holly, you're the next contestant on ChakraTouch Live. Also, for the new people, I'm a goofball. So I like to have fun with it. Did we lose Holly? Holly. Thank you, Peter. Oh no, Holly. Holly, I think Holly's still here. I don't know why I feel like she is. Well, we'll come back to her if she appears. Oh, welcome, Kathy. Nice to have you. It's good to have new people. Oh, by the way, guys, so I haven't done a lot of tracks in 2024. The only one that I've really done is the Love Bomb, right? But with yesterday's sort of down dipping deep into my fear and then like not climbing because it wasn't an effort, I was just being present, but eventually I shifted out of it by the evening. I realized like it's important for me to start recording again and like creating more content for everybody. So I just recorded a new track and put it up for publishing tonight. It's not live yet. They're doing the approval, but it's based on Heart Teach My Mind. I made a track about Heart Teach My Mind for anyone who's a regular and knows that it's a tool that I use quite frequently and encourage folks to use. So maybe we'll get into it later today. The love bomb was awesome, Regan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, the list is to get on for a journey, a reading, if you will. So, if you want to get on the list, I'm about to spin again. We're gonna ask for Holly one more time, Holly. Holly, we'll miss you. Okay, so we're gonna spin again. Does anyone want to get on the list? Oh, I'm talking too fast. Does anyone wish to get on the list for the chance at a reading before I spin again? Violet. Okay, Michelle. Yvonne C, you're back. Hi. All right, friends. We've got 14 names. I feel like that's the magical number for today, and we're spinning again. I need a drink because I've been talking a lot. Not really, Monica. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of room to put in the description for the live. I mean, I do have room. Um, but I just trust. Yeah. And there's nowhere for me to put like there's no way for the it's a great idea, but that'd be more of a feature suggestion to the Insight Timer than it is for the teachers because there's not a lot of tools that they give us regarding the live. Yeah, it disappears with the text, sadly. All right. Lucky number 2 is Summer Star. Summer. Hey. All right. So the way my readings work is I don't do anything predictive. It's more about the energy that play within you. You can ask a question, you can state a topic, state an intention, whatever seems to work. If I don't understand, I will ask clarifying questions so that we can drill down. Hi, Summer. Lucky you, first time here today, and you get called on by the universe for a journey. On the topic of my daughter and my communication. Okay, tell me a little bit more about that. Communication is associated with the throat chakra, so I'm probably going to start there. It's currently rocky. Okay. Rocky, rocky, rocky. All right, my friend. Let's see what we got. Where's your throat? Summer, do me a favor. Um, if you're sitting, feet flat on the floor, so not crossed legs, but feet flat on the floor, and bring your left hand up to your throat chakra right here, and just you don't want to grip the neck too tightly, so have a real loose, gentle, loving kind of grip. Relax your arms, and then bring your right up there. I do the hand placements a lot, folks, for the people that are new because I feel that they ground you and they help establish a connection. They also help sync you and I up. But it really helps people focus on that specific chakra. So just hang in there with that. Alrighty. There's something there, but I'm not getting clarity yet. So I'm feeling called to check elsewhere. Okay. Hmm. So what I'm seeing some right off the bat now is after I tapped into the mind center, so there's I mean Rocky's a really good word, but I didn't quite pick up on it at first, but there the energy in your throat chakra is the word is gravel. So there's a gravel. I don't know if you know what gravel is. So gravel is like, we have our roads in the world, right? And most of them are paved, but there's sometimes off, yeah, okay, well, just for anyone else, because there might be language barrier with the word gravel. So gravel is like when you go on a road that isn't paved with cement or paving, but they pave it with rocks, basically. It's stones and gravel. That's what it's called. So it's not like an off-road dirt road, but so they're usually a little bit more reliable than like a dirt off-road, but they kick up a lot of dust, a lot of dirt, and just they're not as smooth and comfortable in terms of the bumpy ride. The paved roads are less bumpy unless there's potholes, obviously. So yeah, you have this layer of gravel. So when I see different chakra centers, I usually picture like a floor in them. So the floor of the throat chakra would be about right here, right? So I'm picturing that I'm just seeing like a very thick level of gravel there. There's not any motion though. It's very it's very settled. So I don't see any or feel any kind of dust in the air or any of that, but it's a very graveled floor. The floor is just covered with all this gravel. Now, what's interesting up in the mind is there's kind of this how do I describe it? Well, there's this yammering energy. So there's which this is fascinating to me because it was a lot of times when I work with people's throat chakras, I see or feel or sense a kind of a voice. But this voice is up in your mind right now, and it's sort of yammering. It's kind of going, so it's not exactly like whiny, and it's not bitter. It's a little, I mean, because I'm a goofball, it's a smidge silly, but it's yammering. It's like it's going on and on about something. Okay, so you're smiling from that. It's going on and on about something, which says to me, yeah, okay. My guides were just talking to me. There's a story. Okay, so there's a story you're attaching to, Sama, about this, and that's what's going on in your mind, is that there's a story, and the yammering is kind of like incessant repeating of the story, but it's been repeated so much in your mind that the repeating of it is starting to sound unintelligible, right? Which is what a yammering really is. It's also kind of a little bitchy. It's very repetitive. So what story regarding your communication with your daughter, what story have you been, I'll say, over identifying with? It's really probably what's going on. And as I've always say in all my lives, I'm not attached to being right or wrong about any of this. I'm just here to be of service. Stop already? That's the story you're having about her? Or can you clarify that? Or you're telling me to stop already? Tell me more about that, Sylvan. Yeah, what does that bring up for you when I say that? Yeah, we're moving forward from an unfortunate event. What is the stop already? Were you asking me to stop, or were you saying that's the story you've latched on? Yeah, they always do. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Oh, you're saying you and your daughter need to stop already. Okay, but the story, let me try and clarify this. The story is something that you've attached to and is defining the dynamic between you and your daughter right now for you, not for her, but it's defining your part of the energetic dynamic. Does that make sense? Okay, sure. That we can work with that. Yeah, the something else is coming through. Okay, now I get it. So the gravel in the throat and the yammering in the mind are related in that the yammering has become so repetitive and so incessant that it just continues to lay down this gravel in your throat. And the gravel in your throat is really quite static, like there's no movement at all. And that is just it's like layer on layer of gravel, which I feel like is sort of, well, probably protecting, but also sort of like covering over and stifling your ability to express. Like maybe there's a boundary or a feeling or something like that that you haven't been able to express. And I'm not saying necessarily express to your daughter. It may or may not be appropriate to express that, but maybe express to us or a close confidant, a close friend kind of a thing. So I just kind of feel like that if you, what are they saying? Okay. First step, they're saying, is to just be present with the story in your mind. To just, I often talk about loving allowance, and the phrase that I pair with that is loving allow. I encourage you to have loving allowance for all things to be in their own time and place. And this is so essential, Summer, because the first part is loving allowance for how you're thinking about this dynamic with your daughter, right? And just having presence with that, a loving presence, looking on as the observer and the witness, and really just being like, okay, here's how I've been thinking about it. And just making that okay in the moment, just to be with the energy of how you've been thinking about it, right? And that's the first step to letting it go, right? And then the other bigger piece is just really loving allowance for your daughter to be where she's at, because, we're all on our own paths, right? I know you know that. And so having the loving allowance for where she's at, having the loving allowance for where you're at with the dynamic. And then because all relationships are really three energies, right? Me, you, and us, then having loving allowance for where the us is in that moment, right? And a huge part of loving allowance is really just, it's not just the presence and it's not just acceptance. It's really looking at the scenario and being okay with what is in the moment and not trying to fix it, change it, make it better, make it different, and also not piling on more story or judgment about it. To just be really just be straight up honest and present in the moment with it. Here's where it is. It's tough right now between me and my daughter, communication wise. It won't be always, right? It really won't be always. And when you can drop into your heart with that loving allowance, then you begin to remember, I love her. Yeah, the situation sucks, possibly, or probably, but I can let it be for the moment, you know? I also think the beautiful thing about loving allowance is it brings in a spaciousness for us, for us to remember that we always have the support of the divine, that the universe is always there. When I get lost in my mind and it's running the show, I forget about the universe. I forget about the divine. So, yeah, I'd say that's the guidance for right now. How is that resonating for you, Summer? Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for your vulnerability and for your journey. I appreciate that. I love honoring and witnessing people's journeys. Spinning the wheel again. Yeah, yeah. And that's okay, right? It has to be okay for our serenity, for your serenity. It has to be okay, you know? Do we want it to change? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do we hope it will? Yeah. Can we trust it will? That's the real question. Can we trust it will? I love this for you. This is awesome. Okay. Thank you, dear Summer Star, for doing that with us. All right, next person up is number 3, Charlotte. You are more than welcome. I love doing these journeys and seeing what's going on with people. Love and hugs too. Charlotte, are you still here, dear? My friends, I think if I have the energy after an hour and 30, I'll take a quick little intuitive decision and see if I go a little bit longer because I spent a lot of time telling the story today. So we'll see how that goes. Charlotte, are you here? Oof, I am getting warm. Yes, Charlotte. Yay, Charlotte's here. Charlotte, what guidance do you seek? How can I be of assistance to you today? I used to work for the Y. That's why I wear this. While Charlotte is typing out her question or topic. Oh, okay. My partner is now feeling better, so it's more healing from a rough 2 years. Charlotte, we did a reading a little bit ago, didn't we? You had a session on a live. When was that? It's because what you're saying is feeling familiar. Is that correct? Did we have one on here with you? I can't remember. Something's feeling familiar about this. Very interesting. Can you tell me a little bit? Oh, with a different teacher. That's what's feeling familiar. Was it Susan? I think it could have been Susan Sage. Yeah. Yes, I love Susan Sage so much. If you guys, if I'm not on or somebody else who can offer guidance, if you ever find Susan Sage's lives, please go check her out. I love her. She's like a soul sister and super, super awesome. Has been really big help to me as well. Okay, Charlotte, tell me a little bit more about that. Yeah, Susan Sage. Thank you so much for typing that in. Charlotte, tell me a little bit more about the healing. Kind of what do you close your eyes and just kind of drop into your heart and see like what kind of healing are you really wanting guidance over right now? My partner was dealing with addiction issues and he's only better now. Okay, we've got a daughter, so it was tough. Yeah, I can imagine. And he loved my way. Absolutely. So, all righty. I've seen this before. Charlotte, your heart has yeah, your heart has what I would call kind of a floppy feeling, kind of a listless energy. It's the kind of energy that I would typically associate with sort of the not a physical tiredness, but kind of weariness from the challenge, kind of weariness from from the time spent through the difficulty, right? And so the picture that I'm getting, my friend, is whenever I picture hearts, I see it like a 3D heart emoji. And I'm just sort of seeing your heart is sort of listing to the side. For me, it's kind of listing to the left. And so it's in a very tender place. It's feeling weary and sluggish. And I'm definitely getting the sense that it's forgotten kind of who and what it is to be a heart. And I think we can do some comforting for this heart that you have here, Charlotte. How is this resonating with you? Let me know in chat. Meanwhile, I'm gonna mm, mm, it's time to do some grounding. Yeah, okay. Charlotte, do you like beaches or forests? Beaches, yeah. So here's what we're gonna do, my friend. Take your left hand, all right, and place it. You want to place your thumb here on your belly button and then have your other fingers below the belly button on your belly, okay? And then you can take your right hand and place on top of that. The belly is it's sort of a conglomerate of energy centers. So if you know anything about chakras, I use the belly center really to tap into the first, second, and third chakras. It's just such a nice central place to tap into those energies. But in my sort of in the ChakraTouch sphere of things, I consider it the grounding center, okay? Because without grounding, the rest of the chakras of the lower three don't really thrive and make a connection. So just keep your hands there, my friend, while we go visit the beach in your belly. So just want you to drop in, feel the connection of your hands touching your belly. If anyone wants to support Charlotte through this, I invite you to also place your hands on your belly. If you're feeling really grounded today, I just want you to bask and dwell in that grounded sense that you have and the grounded energy. If you're not feeling grounded today, I encourage you to join in with this guidance, this journey that we're about to do for Charlotte. If you're wanting to just support Charlotte from a place of love, you can place your hands on your heart chakra and just feel love in your heart. Whether you send it to her or not is not necessary. You can do it if you feel called, but just holding a vibration of love emanates that to all of us here in the room. So, Charlotte, just picture yourself at your favorite beach. The water is lapping up and flowing onto the shore ever so gently. The sound of the waves is calming and grounding. It really feels soothing. And just look around very gently, not too intently, but look for the most comfortable place for you to plop down and have a sit. Maybe it's this beautiful rock that has perfect shape to hold your rear end, or maybe it's a soft, cushiony bit of grass, or maybe right on the sand. And let me know where you're going to sit and where you sit down at. And when you find that beautiful spot, just sink into it right on the sand there and just gaze out over the water. And just close your eyes and listen to the sound of the waves lapping against the beach, the gentle splash and spurt, the gurgle of the water as it flows up and down. And somewhere in your mind's ear, you can hear birds chirping, and you can hear critters and creatures scurrying about. And you feel the warmth of the sun shining right down onto you. Take a deep breath, my friend, as though breathing in all that beautiful, delicious, fresh, nurturing air. And let it out with a big sigh. And take another deep breath in through the nose. And sigh or moan that out through the mouth. Wonderful. And we'll do one more deep breath in, Charlotte. And out. This is your special beach, Charlotte. A place you can come to feel safe, secure, and grounded. No harm can come to you while you're here. It's a place you can relax and let everything just be. Where the challenge of the last 2 years does not exist because the energy here is purely divine and purely supporting your well-being. Sitting on the beach feels grounding and supportive. Breathing in the air feels revitalizing and soothing. And listening to the sounds of the waves, the birds, and the critters around reminds you that you're not alone. And just bask in all those feelings, Charlotte. And with your mind's eye, turn your face up to regard your heart from this distance and see how much weariness and worn outness is in your heart. And gently and slowly lift your hand, your right arm, my friend. Lift your hand up towards your heart space and offer a loving hand for your heart to gently and gradually climb onto. You just hold it there, no matter how long it takes your weary heart to move. Just watch as it sort of crawls and pulls itself onto your hand. And once it's there, comfortably on your hand, resting in ease, just bring it down through your body, down through the heart space, down past the lungs, down past your sternum and your solar plexus, and bring it down into the belly with you. And as you're holding it there lovingly and gently in your hands, look around you in the sand to find the perfect place to rest it. Or maybe you want to lay it on your lap. You're going to place it on the sand or on your lap, either one. Let us know where you place it. I kind of feel like you want to put it in your lap, maybe. Either one's fine. Just let me know which. And wherever you rest it, just look down on it with a lot of love. All right, it's on the sand. Just watch your heart. Be the observer and the witness, my friend. Here's your weary heart, gently laid on the sand by you from a place of safety and support. And just watch as your heart basks in the support, the togetherness, the nourishing. It lets out a big sigh, welcoming all of these beautiful energies. It's been so long since it's felt any kind of support, any kind of nourishing, any kind of gentleness and soothing. And it begins to gently wiggle and beat again. And you see life slowly coming back to it. And if it had a face, it would lovingly look up at you and smile with gratitude and appreciation. Thank you for bringing me here. I really, really needed this, it says. I've missed this. And you understand. You understand exactly where it's been, where it was before, and you somehow know where it's going. Charlotte, I want you to pick up your heart. Now it's beating again and it's smiling at you. And I want you to lean close into it and just whisper as though it has an ear. You are safe. You are secure. And I love you. And just continue to whisper that over and over. You are safe. You are secure. And I deeply love you. And as you whisper it again and again, your heart beams. The light starts to shine out of it. It appears to have more health and vigor in it. And as if it had hands and arms, it would reach out to you, wanting to embrace you. And just gently and slowly bring your heart and your hands up to your chest and hold it close, giving it a really big, loving hug. And just feel as your heart gently and easily melds right back into your chest. Mm. Charlotte, you may have forgotten, your heart may have forgotten how to feel and who you are, but your soul never forgot. Who you really are is love, my friend. Your energy, you are love energy, embodying and filling a body. And we are all here reminding you and supporting you in your journey back to your own heart. Mm. So sweet and so precious. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't it? I love that for you. Charlotte says, wow, it feels really content now and strong. Ah, powerful and effective. Yeah, so beautiful, Charlotte. Oh my God. I so appreciate your vulnerability and willingness to go on this journey, my friend. This is you. You're more whole than you realized, is the message I'm getting. And my friend, any tool that can bring you either grounding or drop you into your heart, I really, really feel compelled to encourage you to find and regularly use any tool that either brings you a sense of grounding or brings you into your heart, right? And I've got tracks, if you wish, that can help you with that. My quick divine invocations to start your day is a great one to call in divine support, right? And the love bomb track, which we do live here quite frequently, I think, or at least I like to think so. The love bomb will help you drop into your heart and get out of your mind. It's just so beautiful. And I might as well share it. The Heart Teach My Mind practice is just a really, really beautiful one as well. I'll tell you about it after I read your comment here. You're wonderful, and thank you for helping me. You're wonderful too, Charlotte. Thank you for saying I'm wonderful. I really appreciate that. I do go to my favorite beach, Laura Beach. Where's that? Laura Beach, Turkle Beach. I don't know how to say that, but now I need to get it in my heart. Yeah. Yes, wonderful. In Paphos. Okay. Where's Paphos? That sounds Greek. Love Greece. Cyprus. Oh my God, I almost visited Cyprus. 15 years ago, I got invited to speak at a spiritual conference there, but I wasn't ready for that. I have really powerful astrological lines over near Cyprus and Crete. Very cool. It's so nice to have helped you today, Charlotte. I'm glad you're feeling better. I really love this journey for you. I think it's the start of something really awesome. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, Heart Teach My Mind. I know it's Gary's favorite. It's one of my favorites. I had to be reminded of it yesterday as well. And I'm so glad I made this track. I can't wait for them to approve it. Like, let's cross our fingers. So the way Heart Teach My Mind works is you start with a physical gesture on your chest. Now, it could be tapping your chest like this. It's right on the heart chakra. Or like I like to do, placing your hands right on the heart chakra this way. Could be one hand. You can do this at any time during your day, right? And all you simply do is you do the physical gesture. So let's say we're doing the tapping, heart, teach my mind. That's all you do is you tap your heart or lay your hands on it and say, heart, teach my mind. Heart, teach my mind. So you do this whenever you're feeling stressed, anxious, down, fearful, and the whole trick behind this is to catch yourself when you're feeling bad and to realize that in that moment your mind is running the show. So what happens when our mind runs the show? It generates negative emotions, okay? When we're using our mind as a tool, then we can use it to focus on love or something else, and that brings us in the direction of the positive emotions, right? That end of the Abraham Hicks guidance scale. But when our mind is running the show, we know it's running the show by how we feel. So if we can identify how we're feeling, scared, sad, depressed, down, worried, anxious, fearful, any of those negative emotions. If you have trouble identifying the negative emotions, just stick with whether you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, the mind is running the show. What that means is we need to shift our focus. So heart, teach my mind, helps us drop out of the mind and use it as a tool to focus on our heart, because the heart can see the entirety of the story of our lives, whereas the mind can only see one little segment. It only sees the moment, and it only sees the moment from the way that we're currently perceiving it. But we have the power to shift our perspective. And that's what the Heart Teach My Mind is so great about. Hi, Maggie. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. Charlotte, thank you so much. I sense that you were complete. That was really awesome. I love that for you. Did Holly come back? Our friend Holly, are you back? I don't know why, but I'm just getting a sense. Anybody? Yes, Holly's back. Yes. Does anyone have a question about the Heart Teach My Mind that I just talked about? I feel like I shared it really slowly, and my intuition is saying somebody has a question about that. Holly, I'm glad you're back. Why don't you begin to prepare your question or whatever it is you're seeking guidance for? Nah, it happens, Holly. We understand. But you got called on first, and now you're here. So you get to go. Not go. You get to stay and have your journey, have your reading. So tell me, how can I be of assistance to you? What guidance? 11:50 p.m., Monica. Wow. Oh, good, Maggie. I'm glad. While Holly is writing what she wants to ask, I just want to thank everybody who is following me, who decides to follow me now, who ends up following me in the future. I love it when people follow me. It means a lot to me. I also love it when people listen to and review my tracks. If you didn't know, when you leave a review for a track or listen to it, the teachers get paid from Insight Timer. So it's a beautiful way to do an energetic exchange, and very simple, particularly if, finances are not in the picture for doing donations. And then, of course, the third most beautiful and simple way to support a teacher is by donating. And I truly, really appreciate all the donations. They not just mean a lot to me, but they actually help keep the food on the table right now. And that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. So I love having everybody here. At the end of the day, what's most important to me is that we're creating this beautiful field of love that then we will take out to the rest of our lives for the rest of the day today or tomorrow, whatever. And we're building community. And I love that. So, Holly, there we go. Perfect timing. Holly says, I'm confused about my career path and feeling like I'm not participating in the world as I best could. All right, raise your hand if you can relate. I've been there. I was there last night or yesterday during the day. Raise your hand in chat if you can relate. Life path has been coming up so frequently. I hear it a lot in Susan Sage's lives, and it seems to be a regular question in mine. It's starting to make me wonder. Yeah, I might need to create some content or something around that. Yeah. All right. So Holly, yeah, raise those hands, my friend. Holly, hey, you're not alone, my dear. You are not alone. Um, Yeah, me too, Peter. I'm definitely feeling better this year. We've only really, I mean, as I told the story earlier in the live, um, that's the process of discernment of my life path, of my purpose here has been a long one. I didn't really say that earlier, but I'm saying it now. So I just turned 60. You wouldn't know it. I'm happy to be healthy and well physically. But the reality of my experience, or the path of my experience, I should say, has been one of discernment ever since I was in my late teens, early 20s. Because when I was younger, I didn't feel like I fit in with the world and fit in with the culture, particularly here in the US. And I still sort of don't feel like I fit in with the culture in the US. However, where I do fit in is with like-minded, heartfelt seekers like all of you. And I do believe that the calling for me was, how do I say this? I'm trying to say two things at the same time. The calling for me was very visceral, Holly, and there was a lot of back and forth between my mind and my heart, right? And eventually I reached a place after processing through a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of worry and a lot of anxiety, where I just realized that I had to say yes to it, because there was also at the same time this other part of me that was like really curious. I could feel the calling viscerally, like really, like in my heart, like as though my heart was trying to push out of my chest, right? I could feel it calling me, and I knew that there was massive expansion ahead for me if I said yes. Of course, the massive expansion scared the crap out of me too. But I knew that if I said yes, I would get to experience what it was, and that if I didn't say yes, I would always wonder. And so I know I read or heard a quote around that time when I did say yes, that something like, oh yeah, fear is temporary, but this quote said fear is temporary, but regret is forever. Now, I don't necessarily believe regret is forever, but the point they were making is if I end up regretting not exploring something, I probably live out the rest of my life regretting that or feeling that feeling. So yeah. Anyways, let's see where this might be living in you, in your energy, my friend. I don't know if any of that helped. Hopefully it did. Holly, Holly, Holly. Let's see. Mm. Wow, Holly, you have amazing heart energy. I just love observing it. It's fascinating. I'm not sure what you've been thinking about. You can tell if you want, regarding career path. Um, Let me just check the mind space and see what's going on there at the third eye. Mm. There's a harsh energy in the mind, and it's not, it's oh, Holly, are you being too hard on yourself? Okay, Gary, thanks. Holly, are you being too hard on yourself, my friend? You have such a beautiful heart space. I wish you guys could see this. It's like gosh, I think Clow had something similar on Wednesday. It's like beautiful rainbow colored waves of water splashing all over, and I'm seeing fireworks, and you just have, well, yes, always, of course. Yeah, like Holly, there's so much amazing energy in your heart, like, and the mind is being so harsh, like I'm just getting this energy of like, yeah, oof, wow, okay. I'm getting this like, stop it, damn it, figure this out, stop it, damn it, figure this out, stop it, damn it, figure this out, stop. Wow, wow, okay. Oh, my friend, yeah, oof. The dynamic between these two energies is drastically different. Yeah. Oh, we'll see, Yvonne. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Yeah, there's so much love in that energy, isn't there, Maggie? Yeah, and the waves, like, okay, Holly, let's just, oh yeah, it's just, all right. Ground your feet, my friend. Ground your feet and place your left hand on your heart and just place your right hand over it, okay? And just close your eyes. And I want you to use your mind's eye. Use the power of your focus to peer deeply into your heart. And I just want you to look for these waves, these just beautiful cresting waves, and the water is rainbow colored, and I don't know if folks realize it, but the seven chakras are the color of the rainbow, right? So the root chakra is red, the sacral second chakra is orange, the solar plexus, the power chakra is yellow, and the heart chakra is green, the throat is blue, the third eye is indigo, and the crown chakra is violet, right? And that's the rainbow. The rainbow is inside us. And Holly, I just want you to be a witness, an observer here. Just watch these waves, and I'm going to try and describe them even more clearly. All right. So I'm not seeing a shore, I'm just seeing this amazing ocean, and the waves are like moving as though it's water ballet, right? So these are not violent, these are not hectic, they are very graceful waves, and they're very strong, and they're very powerful, and the color of the rainbow fills them as they rise up and then crest with such grace and such beauty, and then they come crashing down with such elegance, and then the foam of the water is all multicolored, and it just, again, a wave comes and crashes down on the water, splashing in beauty like this. It's like this amazing painting, or almost like when you see the waves painted on the Asian on the Japanese paintings, and just how beautifully large and graceful they're drawn, right? And this energy is just moving again with grace and power and gentleness, moving through and through your heart. And it's all like right there in your heart. Let me know how you're feeling, whether you can see it, maybe you're a sensing kind of person. And just let me know how you're responding and feeling about that. It's so beautiful to witness and feel. Feels accurate. Okay. Well, I just want you to be with it. Feel into the energy of it. Feel the power of it. Feel the beauty of it. Feel the gracefulness of it. Use the mind to find all the different aspects of this. The water is also soft, and yet as it crests and forms its wave, it seems almost solid, but it is soft and flowing. And as you're watching the waves, I want you to watch, Holly, as the wave crests, it begins to crest even higher and higher. As it crests, it reaches up to your clavicle and then splashes down. And then when the next wave comes through, it reaches up and reaches the throat and then splashes down. And then as the next wave comes up, it reaches just up to your chin and splashes down again, all still powerful and graceful. And watch as each wave successively gets higher and higher. Next one reaches your mouth and splashes down. The next one reaches your nose and splashes down. The next one reaches up to your eyes and your eyebrows and gracefully and powerfully splashes down. And then the very last one reaches all the way up into your mind. And this time it doesn't splash down into the heart, it splashes down in the mind. And it creates a ripple of water that continues to splash in your mind. And just watch and feel this water. It is warm, it is comfortable, it is strong, it is graceful, and it is cresting and splashing and cresting and splashing, and it is splashing everywhere in your mind. And the rainbow colors are splashing everywhere in your mind, and the water is spraying your entire mind. Is getting soaked in this powerful, graceful water. And the water brings a sense of ease, a sense of comfort. It's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. The water's waves teaches us about letting go. It teaches us about surrender, because there's no way it can crest and splash so beautifully unless the water actually surrenders when it reaches the top of the crest of the wave. And as the water splashes around, just feel whatever is normally up in the mind just being soothed. Let it dissolve in the water. Let it dissolve into the rainbow colors. My friend, there's no amount of mental activity that is going to solve or resolve the question of life path. While the mind is a powerful tool, it is a horrible master. So we cannot really walk the journey of life path from the mind. We can use the mind to discern. We can use it to observe different aspects of things that we enjoy, of things that resonate with us, of things that suddenly ring a bell, for instance. For example, in my story that I told earlier, you know, the spiritual counselor said, "You're a healer, Greg." And I bucked against that. He said, "I'm a spiritual healer," right? I bunked against that, but I kept it in my heart and I kept it in my mind. And a month later, I thought, well, no, this isn't the way he suggested. It isn't my path. That doesn't feel right. It doesn't resonate in my heart. I don't see myself sitting in a room and laying my hands on people. I see myself talking to many people at once. I see myself in standing on a stage in front of an audience, like inspiring people, doing something. And that's like, oh, right. I had forgot about that. That's something that I have wanted and had a desire for dozens of years, right? And then, I launched an Insight Timer, and my most excited thing that I was looking forward to was, doing lives. So I'm getting to do the ChakraTouch, the spiritual healing, and I'm getting to be the kind of speaker that I want to be. So it's keeping an open heart and an open mind in order to recognize these moments. Maybe it's a feeling moment. Maybe it's something we're thinking of. Maybe it's something somebody says. Maybe it's something we see in a movie. Maybe it's something we see on somebody's YouTube video or on a live stream, or we hear it like out of the corner of our ears or whatever. But it's really keeping that curiosity, my friend, keeping an open, curious observer's mind, because I do believe that when we hold that space, it's also part of loving allowance. When we hold this space of loving allowance and curiosity, then the universe begins to show us these little indications. We can even ask the divine to show us these indications. Not specifically, not like show me a red dot if I'm supposed to be painting in red. No, 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 not that specific, but show me a sign that will add a little bit more clarity, to the situation. And the real big thing is that trust, which I know it's hard. It is really hard, particularly when the fear and the judgment come up. But I'm telling you, Holly, and other people are feeling it and seeing it. You have such a beautiful energy in your heart space. Like every single descriptive word I use, that's you. That's who you are. Now, how you choose to direct that into life, we'll find out, right? I love the life path journey, and I hate it at the same time too, but because it's hard. Um, but so something's coming. Yeah, this is your essential nature, they're saying. This is your essential nature. This energy that is your heart is your essential nature, Holly, and embrace it. Embrace it to the fullest extent that you can, right? Is there something else? Yeah, there's something about this heart energy that is so expansive and huge, and that your mind makes you disconnect from it. Does that make any sense, Holly? I know I've just said a lot. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Hey, Brandon, good to see you again. Holly, what's resonating for you right now? Do you have any questions? Do you need any clarification? Holly says, makes sense, and the conflict I feel between what's in my mind and my heart is very clear to me. Yeah. Tell us more about that. And my intuition says that maybe there's something you need to express, maybe get it out in the open. I don't know if you've been sharing with anybody or if you have anybody to share with. Tell us more about what you're desiring. Also, one of the best tools that I've ever used throughout my entire discernment process, and it works amazingly even this day, is asking the universe for how I want to feel. I talk about this a lot, it feels like, and I need the reminder too. But whenever we're wanting something, uh, income, car, relationship, a house or a home situation, our clarity on our life path, anything. We're wanting that because of the way we think it'll make us feel. And the universe doesn't respond as well to the specifics as it does to the feelings. And when we get really clear about the feelings, which is easier to do than clear about the path, but when we get really clear about the feelings, I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel satisfaction. I want to feel enjoyment. I want to feel fun. I want to feel community. I want to feel freedom. I want to feel flexibility. I want to feel enlivened. I want to feel live like I'm living on purpose. It's not really a feeling, but it's feeling purposeful is a feeling. I want to feel purposeful. I want to feel conviction. I want to feel confident. I want to feel strong. I want to feel powerful. When we think about when we focus on the feelings and we ask the universe for these feelings, then what happens is the universe says, I can deliver on that. Not only can I deliver on that, but I can exceed your expectations. And we give the opportunity for the universe to knock our socks off. But when we're saying specifically, I want this person because I love them, or I want this house because, X, Y, whatever reason. When we get so specific, or in my personal example, I want X number of followers, or I want to earn this much per month, or blah, 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 whatever. We're completely disconnecting from the heart. And when we focus on the feelings of how we want to feel for something that we're wanting, it drops us into the heart And the universe can work with that so beautifully, really, really infinitely beautifully, unlimitedly. Hita, yes. Good. Glad. Holly says, my mind feels harsh, type A, financially driven, and fearful. But I have another seemingly contradictory part of myself, which I believe you picked up on. Yeah. Okay, what else are you saying? I haven't learned how to combine both parts of myself, how to reconcile the two motivations, but I default to following my mind because it's safer and abandoning my heart. I understand. I do the same thing. The mind, the mind, you can also call it the inner child, you can also call it the ego. I just call it the mind because that's where the energy that I feel when it starts to run the show, that's where I feel it. I feel it all up in here. And the mind is always looking for guarantees, assurances. And from that aspect, it does relate sort of as a little child, right? Think about it, when we're young and we're dependent on our parents or our guardians, we look to them for assurances. We look for them for guarantees. And to an extent, that's necessary. But I don't know about you guys, but my parents didn't teach me to look a step bigger, and that is up to the divine, right? Not necessarily up, but to the divine, right? Because my parents and ultimately, inevitably, were fallible, just like all of us as human beings. The divine is just always available and purely and deeply and absolutely loves us. And the thing is that when I get lost in my mind and it runs the show, I forget that the divine is even there. So I forget to ask. And that's why tools like Heart Teach My Mind and others are so helpful, because then I remember I'm not alone. The divine is there perfectly and profoundly protecting me. Holly, I definitely sense the fear. I sense the resistance, and I sense this contradiction. I would call it a contrast, if you will, in you. And there's so much more there to unpack. And I would love to work with you again if you feel so called. And that could just be in another live, or we could do a private or whatever. But we could I really feel like we could really dig into this. The main thing that I'm feeling. Hmm, yeah, just the main thing that I'm feeling is just that distance between the heart and the mind for you. So again, just like I encouraged people earlier, whatever you can do to ground, like whatever spiritual practices you can do to ground or to drop into your heart are just going to be so beneficial for you right now. And the more and more, and I know because this has been my experience, but the more and more you drop into your heart, my friend, the more clarity you're going to get about your life path and the more connected to your calling that you will be. I trust this. I know it's hard to trust when you're in the contradiction yourself, but you have all of us here to love and support you. And I'm happy and I'm honored to be able to witness your energy today. So, Peter says, Holly, what if you chose one day a week to purely follow your heart? Baby steps to trusting your heart fully. That's a wonderful idea, Peter. Yeah. And that may be difficult. I feel like Holly has some conditioning, possibly because of the type A personality and the way she's been driven and fearful, that is going to take some journeying. I'm not going to say work. I'm just going to say journeying, my friend. Just a journey to walk through those and surrender and release those. And you know what? There's lots of tools available. I don't know if you're into astrology or if you know anything about it. I highly recommend Jackie Mancuso, an Insight Timer teacher here. She's been a huge support to me, both in her teaching and also in helping me to become a teacher. And human design. If anybody is ever heard of or curious about human design, it's fascinating. I calling myself a student of it, although I know enough to learn about myself, but not other people. But I would recommend checking out, let me type her name, Vanessa Naja. Maggie, I don't know if I'll have time, but I can put you on the list. Vanessa Naja is a teacher here on Insight Timer, and I'm going to type Jackie Mancuso's name too. So Vanessa Naja does human design. She's got tons of beautiful tracks that explain human design in such a easy, accessible way. And then she talks about the different types. I've learned so much about myself, like just like I can't even get into it. There's so much about how my energy really flows and things that were revealed to me through human design and astrology, of course, that have just clarified like how I just don't fit in corporate America, you know? For an example, I'm a projector. Projectors need regular periods of rest and relaxation and recuperation. So for all my whole life, I've like worked really well in a short period of time, like a 2 to 4 hour period of time. I can do as much work as somebody who normally takes 8 hours to do it, right? But then I need a break and I need a big break. And I'm not talking your legal 30 minutes, by the state. I need like 2 to 4 hours of break before I've got enough energy again to reapply myself. That's a total projector thing. And I didn't know that until I started learning human design. Anyways, other tools, Holly, that maybe you can utilize or look into, anything I can do to help you, I'm here for you. And I'm sure the other Insight Timer teachers will be as well. Holly, anything else? Do you have any more questions, clarifications you need? Are you feeling complete? Yeah, baby steps. I think, Peter, that's your main point is the baby steps. So I need the baby steps too, my friend. Lynn, I feel exactly what you're saying to Holly. Wow, cool. Since my husband died, I find that my mind is trying to run the show about where my life is going, and I find it so discouraging. I totally relate. Absolutely understand, Lynn. Yeah. Oh, let's just all take a deep breath. Heart, teach my mind. Just tap our hearts, my friends. Heart, teach my mind. Heart, teach my mind. Beautiful. Holly says, no, thank you so much for your time and energy. Very helpful. I'm really excited for you, Holly. I know it's hard for you to feel excited in this moment about it, but I can feel this massive potentiality in you. And I think that it's gonna, I think it's, I just, I'm not very predictive, but I can feel your heart energy is already so expansive that once you really start tapping into it, I think it's going to blow your mind, and that just alone makes me really excited for you. All righty, we're over the hour and 30 minutes. Let me just feel in here. We're going to do one more. Oh, thank you, Setra. Did I say your name right? The tapping just helps so much. It really does. I mean, it really does. And I thank my dear spiritual advisor, Dr. Peebles, who I saw for many years. Yes, sirree, Setra. Very cool. What is that from? I love learning people's names. Setra. Very cool. I like saying people's names. All right. My guides say we can do one more reading. Let's see who gets to go on a journey. Oh, very cool. I have a spiritual name. I haven't used it in years. I might use it again someday. All right, let's see who gets to go next. Oh, my next live will be Sunday. This Sunday, the 10th, but I see a strange time. Of course, you can follow and you'll get notified of all of them. But let me get a more precise answer for you there, Lindsay. Sorry, I had to stop the music. Don't stop the music. Okay, friends. Next live is Sunday at 2:22 p.m. I know why I'm seeing a weird time on my calendar. Because of daylight savings time is happening this weekend, isn't it? Oh my God. Okay. You are following me. That's right, Lindsay. Yeah. So I'm on every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday is definitely 4:44 p.m.s. I love that time. Wednesdays is 2:22 p.m. That's Eastern time, Eastern US. I'm still sort of trying to figure out what time I like best on Sunday. I haven't been super thrilled about the 2:22 time on Sunday. So yeah, we'll just take it as we go. All right. So the next person who got called on, thank you for asking, Lindsay. Time zone Eastern US, New York, New York time. The next person to get called on is lucky number 10, which is Rosanna. Rosanna? Rosanna. Rosanna, are you here? Yes, you're welcome, Monica. Oh, that's right. You're in Denmark. That's fine. I will be closer to you when I eventually move, Monica. I am moving east someday. Rosanna, are you still here? Rosanna, going once, going twice. Maggie's still here. You're almost sleepy. We'll be done soon, Monica. Monica, I need to show you the infinity symbol I found for my backgrounds inspired by you. Did you see it already? I think maybe you did see it. All right, I'm going to spin again because Rosanna's not here anymore. May Rosanna go with peace and love wherever she is going. Oof, yeah, you need to go to bed soon. And I need supper soon. 6:25 here. Okay, who's number one? Monica, you're number one. See, you hanging there for a reason, didn't you, my dear? Peter, you had breakfast and you didn't share with me. I thought we were close. Monica, you're up. You're the last contestant today. You're number one. There you go. I know you're here. How can I be of assistance? What guidance do you seek today, my dear? Thanks again for everybody being here. I love these gatherings. I'm always very feeling a lot of love and really uplifted after them. And it's just it's really great to feel your guys' love and appreciation and all your support. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who follows. Thank you to everybody who likes what I have to offer. Thank you for donating if you feel so called to. I hope this Apple thing gets resolved. I have this feeling that it's making it hard for some people to feel free to donate during the lives. But yeah, anyways, just thank you, and thank you. All right, Monica, please tap into my energy. Oh, Holly says, I meant to thank you for coming back to me for a reading. Yes, of course. Well, you were called on for a reason, my friend, and clearly we discovered why. Okay, any guidance or advice that I see? Oh, good, Maggie. Are you new, Maggie? I recognize your name. Yeah, well, you know what? It's subjective, which is better, right? It's all good. It's all good. All right, Maggie, here we go. Yes, Holly's beautiful rainbow. Monica has a rainbow infinity sign in her heart. Did I remember that correctly? I don't know if we'll see that today. Let's find out. Whatever. Let's see, Monica. What's calling? Monica, what have you been doing lately? This is interesting. I'm not saying that in a negative way. There's a really interesting. I'm seeing, um, what's the right word? I'm seeing energy come out of the front of your heart chakra, Monica, and the back of your heart chakra. And so I'm kind of seeing, I don't mean new to Insight Timer, I mean new to me, Maggie, but yeah. Oh, yeah. So Monica, I'm seeing they're like spurts. Is that the right word? They're like spray. It's like a spray of energy coming out of the front of your heart chakra and the back of your heart chakra. And it has a very loving, like there's an openness. The spray is like a sharing sort of. It- yeah, it's like sunbeams coming from those two directions, spraying the light out, reaching out to touch. That's really fascinating. How are you feeling about that, Monica? What is that bringing up, if anything? Let me see what else we have. Yeah, let me know how that's resonating. It's really fascinating. It's a lot like how this light is spreading and sort of spraying, right? So it's not like a splash of molecules, it's like a spray of light, and it's coming out of your front and back of your heart chakras. Okay, I'll take a closer look then. Hmm. I'm feeling the heaviness in your mind. What have you been thinking about? Yeah, there's a hmm, there's a I don't even have the right word for it. There's an energy of in your mind, there's an energy of like a weight being um dropped onto something, like boom, it's holding something down, like a I want to call it a paperweight, but whatever this weight is, it's massive and it's not exactly something I would use on my desk. So what have you been thinking about lately? The heart energy feels expansive and reaching out, which is something I've never seen before. So it's really cool to witness something new. But yeah, maybe like an anvil. I'm seeing like a pentagon shaped 50-pound weight, that's flat on all the sides and has like the ring at the top. So how can I help myself? I don't know what it's reaching out to. There's a lot going on because you definitely have the mental energy that's something that is weighing you down. So tell me a little bit more about what you've been thinking about, because as I've stated before and often have to be reminded of myself, what we think about generates the emotions that we feel, and then the emotions are what we use to learn more about what we're thinking about. So if your heart has been heavy, what kind of emotion would be associated with that? Are we talking uh like what kind of degree of uncomfortable are we talking? Sadness, discouragement, disappointment, anger, frustration, fear, um being bummed out. And then what have we been thinking about? You have a very powerful mind, but it is weighing down. Would love to be able to see what it's weighing down. Let's do that. Let's just wait, see what else you have to say about those questions. found out about something about someone just makes me feel sad. Are you comfortable sharing more specifics? Mostly not so much about the situation, about what you found out, but how you're thinking about what you found out, because that's definitely feeling like the root of it. Person isn't what you were thinking. Okay. Well, share it right here. What are you thinking about them now that you've seen this? Now that you see that they're not who they thought you were, or now that you see that they're not who you thought they were. Just get it out, my friend. What are you thinking? Are we pissed off? Are we disappointed? You said you're sad. Disappointed. Yeah, I could feel that too. Was this a romantic situation? Maybe that's what these splashes, these streams of light are about, that you were reaching out with your heart. Yeah. Lack of integrity in a person. Yeah. I feel like if this was romantic, then I think that my assessment of my sense of um these sprays of light was you reaching out with your heart. Is that how's that feel? How's that sound? Yeah, lack of integrity can be so disappointing because you're a really big-hearted person, Monica. You have got so much heart energy. I'm getting a message come through that okay, what's the words? Someday I will have a better flow with the words on this. So the this big 50-pound weight is weighing down your perspective. So yeah, I feel the sadness too, Gary. Yeah. Um, there's a contrast here, Monica, that's going on. So you have this amazing loving heart energy. It definitely feels to me as though you're on some level, maybe subconsciously, you've extended your heart outwards from yourself, and maybe for multiple reasons, maybe for relationship, maybe for community, maybe for friendship, or maybe just for support, right? And then you've had this disappointment. And so now your mind has got this 50-pound weight and it is weighing down. And really what this is about is perspective. So there's something that has been placed on, and I feel like it's a piece of paper or something, and we need to get a different viewpoint, okay? Because okay, I'll go with that. Okay, so I'm not sure about working with the visualization. I'm just going to follow the messages that I've been getting, and we'll see what unfolds. So the sadness is coming from an expectation. Okay, so you had an expectation or a hope around this particular person. The 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 fine tuning of this perspective can go maybe somewhat as follows. So first off, this person did you a favor by revealing that they have no integrity, or that they're lower on the scale of integrity. They did you a favor in that they're showing who they truly are, so that you can discern more deeply, both with the mind as a tool and the heart as the master, whether that works for you or not. So you're on the way to that clarity, but along the way, you've latched onto a thought that is weighing down your ability to see this perspective. So if this weight is on a piece of paper, this piece of paper is showing you the new way of thinking about this, but this weight has plopped down on it, okay? And that weight is basically, what are they saying? They're saying that this situation isn't about the other person at all. Okay. This other person is just being an example and a catalyst. So you have a deep desire for something. What was it that you, maybe you haven't identified or expressed that yet, but you had a deep desire that you hoped for from this person. And then the truth about that was revealed to you. And now you're sad and discouraged. So first off, that whole dynamic completely makes sense. It completely makes sense. There's nothing wrong with it. You're functioning to the specifications of your system, if you want to be technical, but you're functioning exactly as you should be, my friend. You had a hope, you had an expectation, or you had a deep desire, right? And you possibly, I'm not sure, you probably did. You mentally latched onto this person as the possibility for fulfilling that desire, right? But it's not about that person. What it's about is your desire. Whatever this true deep desire is, this person just did you a favor of taking themselves out of the equation quickly. And like, wow, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, person. It's so often in our lives that I don't know if it's a real world word, but that we misassociate where the source of whatever we're wanting to feel comes from, right? And this is so true in our human relationships. I was really hoping that this person would be the one, or I mean, I do this too. I had this happen a couple months ago. I was expecting, yeah, this was in the fall. I was expecting, a certain type of interaction with somebody. And then they started showing me that they were viewing that completely differently. And I got really upset about it, and then I felt really sad and I felt really discouraged and disappointed. And it wasn't even a romantic thing. It was almost like I felt like it was peers, but I was not seeing that that person viewed me as a peer. And that just really threw me for a loop, and it had me quite upset for a couple weeks until I was able to let it go. um and then the reality, not the reality, how do I want to say this, what I came to clarity about through that and an additional experience that was semi-similar but different. I came to clarity about that. Yeah, I open my mind and my heart really easily. That's just who I am, right? But when it comes to sharing fully who I am, and it doesn't count in an environment like this because I'm here being of service, but when it's like friendship or intimate relationship, I realize that I give my power away by expecting something that I haven't seen evidence of yet, right? And I like to be as positive as I can, expecting, but when somebody shows that they won't treat me like that, they don't see me as a peer, or perhaps when somebody shows that they aren't capable from my level of what I require in a relationship, if they aren't capable of being able to hold space for my feelings, or that there's something that's essential about me that there's no way they could that they could understand. There's any number of possible examples. In the moment, my mind isn't making it about that person, but on a really deep level, it's really about that desire that we're wanting. And again, that goes back to asking the universe for how we want to feel. So this person, this revelation that you got, Monica, doesn't make you feel how you want to feel. So now you know that this person doesn't align with whatever this desire is inside of you. Does that make sense? I said a lot, and it was just all sort of kind of coming through. I just don't know if it made sense as a whole. It does? Okay. Well, there's part of the trust process, right? So I don't think I have time to see more, my friend. There's more there, but there's because I need to wrap this up. I'm feeling my energy waning. Um, use this as an opportunity, my friend, to get clear about what you're wanting. Because on a deep level, energetically, you already know. So in the example of a relationship, of a romantic relationship, you may not be able to mentally or energetically thank this person for showing this revelation to you, but you can hold a bit of thanks in your heart and appreciation for the fact that you now are more clear that integrity is really important to you in your relationships. And this is something you can celebrate. You may not feel like celebrating in the moment, but when you begin to shift your perspective, so if you think about this weight that's weighing down whatever that paper is, there's a number of different ways that whole visualization can unfold. You can leave the weight there. Of course, that's not going to go anywhere. You could visualize picking up the weight and then picking up the paper and look at it. Or you can go up and move the camera of the visualization up above the weight and start to read the paper around the edges and then get curious about it and then lift the weight and read it without even moving the paper. They're like, there's so many different ways that you can look at it. And one of them is this that I just said, that you can celebrate that you are more clear now that integrity is absolutely important to you. And that's just one piece of it. I have a feeling that there is a lot more, right? In my example of the person who didn't treat me like a peer when that's what I was wanting, um, I'm realizing that in certain circumstances, I need to be more discerning before I share more of who I am. Because when I share really freely and then I get hurt, I've given my power away. Not that I will always get hurt, but I want to hold my power. I want to maintain my power. And how do I do that? I use the mind as a tool to discern what the heart is feeling, right? To discern whether I'm feeling aligned and connected properly with that person. Lots of other examples. So I could go on, but I'm tiring out. How is that sitting with you? Bye, Peter. Good to see you. Regan, I'm so glad the first three readings were helpful for you. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Peter has a kind spirit too. Monica was disappointed as this person always talk about integrity. I ended up seeing opposite, so it has left me in shock. Yeah, it makes you think. Okay. Oh, good, Setra. I'm glad. Yeah, Monica, I definitely can feel that there's a lot more there to unpack, and I feel your desire to get, how do I say this? To get at it or to solve it. I definitely sense that there is a component of just being present with this, my friend, and that more will be revealed. So I just encourage you to stay in the moment as much as possible. I hear and feel your sadness and your discouragement, but again, understand that that's coming from your perspective. Yeah, it's great. You have to embrace those feelings and honor them, right? And be present with them. Allow the feelings to inform and instruct on what your next steps is with this. You know, your disappointment isn't forever. Your disappointment is just in that person, not in everybody, right? Because there are people with integrity and we're all human. We all have moments where our integrity gets shaky sometimes, you know? Yeah. I don't think that the weight is shock. I really feel that the weight is a particular perspective in your mind, Monica. It's a good question, Gary. I think shock is the response to this weight. And if we had more time or if we had a full hour, I think we could probably do something with this. But I'm also getting the sense that the weight right at this moment in time, the weight won't budge if we work on it. that there's not a journey available, basically. But that's why the being present with what that is, and whatever mental thought, whatever thought is weighing you down right now. And like yesterday when I was deep in my fear, and I know how to shift. I don't stay down long, maybe a day, two max, usually only an hour or two. But yesterday it was a struggle. And I really just had to eventually surrender and let go and just like, okay, so I'm scared out of my mind. You know, this is where I am. And you're in a very similar spot, Monica, where it's just like, okay, so I'm sad and I'm disappointed and I'm a little and I'm discouraged about this person. Just be present with those, my dear. They're not wrong, they're not bad, right? They're just there to inform you, and they really are there to guide you. Okay? Yeah. All right, my friends. I'm complete. Monica, is that enough for now, my dear? Yes, okay. Very good. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I honor and I celebrate you. I'm not going to do a closing. We normally do a beautiful circle of love, energetic circle of love closing, but I can't continue or I will be completely tapped out. So many blessings and much love to all of you. Please do come back to another live. We will continue to grow our beautiful circle of love. Feel free to join our Insight Timer group called Circle of Love. Many of the people here are part of it. I share regularly there, and some of the other folks do as well. And that's where that's where we just hang out and well, we don't really hang out there. We hang out here. Anyways, I'm tired now. I'm sending you much love, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely evening or the rest of your day, whichever time zone you're in. I'll see you Sunday for the next live, or Wednesday, or next Friday, or at somebody else's live. Take care of your own hearts, my friends, and continue to love as best you can, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. All right. Bye. Take good care.